Hey, what's up, Life That Pants with another Path of Exile video. And in today's video, I just wanted to go over the farm I've been doing for the last day and a half. Yeah, something like that. I threw this together because I wanted a cheap and easy way to get T17 maps. And I wanted to do some T16 mapping just because it's more chill. And I wanted to just, relax and not worry about like constantly upgrading idols and that kind of stuff. This is, I think there's a 6 point something % chance for each T16 map to drop as a T17 instead, and then all the T17s afterwards are like vastly reduced in chance. We don't know how much, but so this is just a way to drop as many T16s as possible. You can also do this to create the maps you farm to make the T17s drop. So you want 8 mob maps to farm the T17 maps. And so how do you get T17? How do you get 8 mob maps? You just use this scarab here, this cartography scarab of corruption. So non-unique maps found in an area are corrupted with 8 modifiers. This is, I think, a couple of chaos, maybe 5. Then you can use a couple of these scarabs. Is cartography scarab of the multitude. Area contains 8 to 12 additional packs of difficult and rewarding monsters, which drop 300% increased maps. So that's, that's a lot. It's I don't think you want to do this on Toxic Sewer because I don't think those mobs can always spawn. You can tell when they're around as well because they have a voice line. So you'll just hear Vol from the Dry Sea in Act 4 just going roar. You'll hear that guy every so often. Or the woman from the Mud Flats, no, not the Mud Flats, the area before the Mud Flats, saying, fresh, another meal, or something like that. And that's those difficult and rewarding monsters. Sometimes you'll get hit by Brutus's like spikes coming up in the middle of a map, and that's what that is. And then we've got one of these cartography scarab of risks. Now these are 8 mob maps, so this is another mod, so that's 9 mods. My build can run all the mods because I am using this Awakened Elemental Damage with attack support. So this means because it's level 5, it gets this extra line at the end. Elemental damage from supported skills cannot be reflected. So we don't take reflected elemental damage. And then we're just taking a cartography scarab of escalation. So 10% increased maps found in area for each map modifier affecting area. So that means we've got 90% increased maps. We've got 100% quant from our map already. Then we've got, in between 16 and 24 packs of difficult and rewarding monsters dropping a 300% increase, and then there are 8 mod maps as well. The idols I'll go over just a little bit after, but I'm going to just use Domination Shrine just because shrines makes mapping more easy. This is a Strand map, and I've been using Strand to drop Fortress maps because that's one of the maps I wanted to run, and I've also been doing Jungle Valley so that I can drop a bunch of Abomination maps because those are also pretty good, and they've got I think they've got a very high chance to drop the Maven fragment at the end from the boss. I think, but as we go through here, I've got, obviously you can see I've got Delirium on here. Delirium, we're using the no end to Delhi keystone as well. We got you get a lot of these the Crimson Iron, and there's our first as a T17. I say our first T17. We're probably not going to drop another T17. If we do, then this is an incredibly lucky showcase for the video. But you should not expect to be dropping 2 T17s per map. I think 1 T17 every 3 maps is much more reasonable. Because of the 6 point whatever chance it is to drop for a T16 map to be upgraded to a T17, then you're looking at around 1 in 16 maps you get your T17 drops. So I think I have Jungle Valley favorited on my my Atlas at the moment. You can also see some Beyond demons popping up every so often as well, and that's because Beyond just adds a ton of monsters to the map. And there we go. So we've got a 8 mod map already. And we'll get plenty of these as well. You can see there's a lot of gold too. Now these maps can be fairly difficult. I've got we've got the increased we've got the never-ending Delirium. Then this another map. Then there's a significant sort of increase in difficulty of the monsters the further away from the Delhi mirror you get. And you can see here we've got another couple of maps. So that's, I think, 4 we're at now, or 5. It's just 4. And then here we've got some scarab. We've got a shrine. We've got the purple, I think this is a Gloom Shrine. with the pops. And this is one of my favorite shrines in the game. We have rituals as well. We don't do the rituals, unless they're nameless rituals, even though those aren't very good this league. But we just have the rituals here for extra monsters. These speed shrines, obviously very good as well. For the altars, the Eldritch altars, I'm using Eater of Worlds because you can frequently get a quant and a rarity on these, and there's a map duplication one as well. And this is, if you want to drop fortress maps, do this on Strand. If you want to drop abomination maps, then do this on Jungle Valley. And also Jungle Valley doesn't have any boss altars, so you're guaranteed to always get something fairly useful, whether it's from the Eldritch mobs or whether it's from the player quantum rarity, which is also very good. So here, player quantum rarity, but minus cold and lightning resistance. Now, I don't really want to take the minus cold and lightning resistance, so I'm just going to skip that. Now, this map is taking a little bit longer because these mobs are getting pretty tanky, but we're at the end of the map now, and you see we're around 3 minutes. Maybe you can see that. Yeah, you should be able to see that. And this is, honestly, this is a map. This is taking a very long time. So this is one of the other things I really wanted here, was for it to be fast, because I've got stuff to do, and it's because I think they've got a lot of maximum life, 44% max life as extra maximum energy shield. Oh, we got, is that a Shaper map? Oh yeah, it's a Elder Guardian map. I've got some Rogue Exiles here. You see Ulysses and Vicus Giant Bone. And then we got, final boss drops, Orbs of Fusing. Probably don't need that. But then we can just get some extra Eldritch mobs here. And, as many maps as we can get out of it. So, this is pretty much the map showcase. Now, I'm just going to kill this guy and then go back to town. And we'll talk about exactly what on earth are we doing here. Alright, so this is what it looks like. We've got 5 Jungle Valley maps with 8 mod corrupted, and that's really, really good. We got this one. I think I have this mod on my idols somewhere, but then we also got a fortress map, and this is kind of what we're here for. So the Strand, I've been doing a lot of these, and if we just go to my map tab, then I've got 38 now, 39 fortress maps, and I got a couple of abomination maps because I've been testing out Jungle Valley. What I really wanted was Jungle Valley 8 mod corrupted maps, but this is also a very, very good way for generating all the other stuff as well. So once you start getting a couple of, you can run this with a just chisel out and Vald map that you can run for Strand or Jungle Valley, or whichever map you want to choose. Jungle Valley is obviously incredibly good because there's no boss altars. Once you got that, then you can just start pumping it through with the scarabs, and you just start dropping a lot of corrupted maps. I think my map prep tab I've got, so here's some extra Jungle Valley maps for me. I'm going to put this one in as well. We're going to run this one too. So let's talk about our idols here. And the reason I wanted to do this originally as well, because I want to do crop rotation in T16s. It's, if you have 8 mod corrupted T16s for crop rotation, it's hella juiced. And I can also use the T17s that I drop for like bigger crop rotation experiments as well, with like imbued scarabs. But my idols, this one, the only thing that's useful on this is actually 10% increase explicit modifier on your maps, and the deli as well. So there's actually a website for this. This is the Pee-wee Idols Manager. I'll put this tool in the link in the description, and you can check it out. But this gives you a way to sort of nicely visualize the mods on your maps. And there's things that I care about. So Scarab's not really one, but Beyond is one I care about. So I want Beyond because there's a lot of monsters. I want Delirium because it's a lot of monsters and it's a lot of quantum rarity. I want there's rituals because this just adds a ton of monsters to the map. So we don't run the rituals. We just if a ritual appears, then it's like 5-10 extra packs of monsters, which is really good. And that's in total. And then the other things I care about is Expedition I don't care about, Harvest I don't care about, Legion I don't care about, Shrines I want one additional shrine just because it makes my life more more comfy. I've got some shrines in your maps have additional chance to be guarded by an additional pack of monsters. That's also great because I'm using Domination just to make my life easier. But then down here we've got map, and this is map and other, and these are the two important ones here. Maybe if I make this smaller, then we can bring this up here. So they don't really like smush this together very well, but I've got tier 1 to 15 maps have a 10% chance to become one tier higher, and I've got a 10% chance here, a 9.1 here, a 9.5 here, and a 9.3. So I have 4 of these on the maps, on the idols, and then I have % increased effect of explicit modifiers on your maps. So I got 79%, and that's because most of my 3x1 idols have, of which I have 8. They all have either in between 11 to 9, and that's because they're cheap. I didn't want to pay a lot of money for this, so I paid like less than 2 divines for this whole setup easily. If we go to, like, if we just look at, 10% explicit effect and a mirror of delirium, there's like 1C, but 30 chaos, 40 chaos, 40 chaos, something like that. And you don't even need to have this much, because if you wanted a really, really good T17 farm in 3.25 with the old Atlas, you were looking at maybe 60% explicit effect on your maps. Just 60. And we've got 80. And that 80% multiplies our quant, it multiplies our rarity, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really, really useful. And you can get this mirror of delirium on other stuff. You can get this on the small idols as well. So really, you just need like the explicit effect of modifiers on your maps. So this is really, really easy to get. So these are, like you see here, 10, 15, 20C. So I've got 8 of these. So let's say they're 20C. Let's be conservative. So 8 of these, that's 106. That's a 1 divine orb. So all my big idols, this is 1 divine orb already. And that's all I'm paying for these. I can't even fit them into my inventory. So this is 1 div. And then I have these small ones. And I have Unending Nightmare, which is a delirium never dissipates, but then you get less. You don't get any deli orbs, you don't get any sim splinters, and it has double difficulty scaling with distance from the mirror. Now you could probably remove this if you're doing Strand. I found that Strand deli was a little buggy, but I wanted to put it on just so that I know I constantly get delirium. But I might try without this soon. Eldritch Gaze, so because we're doing Eater, because you get lots of Eater, the Eater of Worlds mods are really good, or the altars are really good, then I want to have the massive increased effect of the upside of the altars. So I got 59%, and I got 59% because it was, I think, 5C, and the 60%, this is in between 50 and 60. The 61 was like 65 chaos, and this one was 5. So it's like cheapness is the reason I'm doing most of this stuff. I want it to be really, really affordable. I just threw it together last night on stream. Then we got singular focus because you want to have the one map. Then my small ones, I got 5 of these, and they all have, or most of them have, the tier 1 to 15 maps found have a high chance to become 1 tier higher. And this is the only thing that's less than the 325 T17 map farm. So I have that on as many of them as possible, as high as possible. This, if you like, these are the ones that cost the most, weirdly. So if you have a 10% chance, and then you just take everything else off, then these are 25 or 30 chaos, which is a lot. But again, this whole setup is under 2 divines, and I don't even have the 10% on. So I have like 9% on some of them as well. And that's, 10, 13, 15 chaos. Like you're looking at 15 chaos maximum for a 9%. So you could have these a lot lower, but I went for a couple that are pretty high. And that means that map equity is a very complicated subject, and it's difficult to explain it, but it means that if you drop more maps, so you drop a T10 map, then it's got a decent chance to get 1 tier higher. And if we show the stats here, I think it's usually all the way down the bottom. Yeah, so 47.9% chance to become 1 tier higher. So it's 50-50 for us. And we're getting 5 of these, so we want them to be as high as possible. So we have these, and this is basically the backbone of this strat. So it is the chance to become 1 tier higher, and then the explicit effect, because the explicit effect modifies the quantum rarity a lot. And then we're going for delirium, so I want, increased chance to have a delirium mirror. I think I have it on a couple here. Yeah, delirium. Oh, delirium monsters have increased pack size. That's also good, because then we just get more delirium monsters. We have, I got it on a few of these, I think, as well. So I got delirium chance, I got beyond chance, and I got ritual chance. And that's it. That's all you need for this. It's a really, really simple farm, honestly. And I just put these in here. And so this is 2 divs, and these scarabs, I would say, is like 15 chaos per run. I think this one's 5. This one's pretty cheap. These are like 2 to 3C each. You could probably get them a lot cheaper if you put an advance order on Faustus. But there's also incredible gold as well. So I got 22k gold from just this one map. It's 4 minutes, so I can run easily 15 of these per hour if I want to. And my treasury cost, my wages cost, is 15k an hour. So with a 4.5 minute map, I pay for an hour. So if I farm for an hour, I'm easily going to pay for a day of King's March. If I just play for, if I just do this for 1 hour, and I need the maps. So I'm doing this for the maps primarily, but the gold is really, really good as well. And it's 15k an hour. I have almost everybody is like T9 for all of my farmer, or T10, and like my disenchanters are tier 10, tier 9. I think the smelters and all, but these are the mappers. But smelters are all T9s. My miners are all tier 9 as well, and the shipping guys are all tier 9s as far as I'm aware. Yeah, tier 10, tier 9. So I've got a pretty expensive town. I do, you as you saw, you come across a lot of like Crimson Iron or a Chalcum or the bismuth and that kind of stuff. So your town is working the whole time, and you're making a lot of gold too. But then you're also dropping all these 8-mob maps for, you can sell these as well on TFT. I think they're around 10 to 15C each. And if you offer people regexes, then you can sell them for 25 or something like that. So it's a really good money farm if you just want money. But it's also really good just to get a lot of 8-mob maps and a lot of T17 maps. And the reason I did it in the first place, so I don't have to talk to people on trade. So I could just farm all the stuff myself. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to try and keep this as short as possible. I probably haven't, but that's what I'm looking at now. Again, I'll put a link in the description below to the idol site here. This is a pretty useful thing to be able to figure out how to what kind of idols you have and what kind of stuff you want. You can also set up targets and simulate stuff as well. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope this has been useful. I hope you. One of the reasons I made this as well is because somebody said in YouTube comments, like, I'm always broke. What do you do for gold? And this is one of the things I do for gold. But with that, come check us out. We're live every day on twitch.tv/withoutpants. But with that, I hope you are kind to everyone you meet. I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.